A dramatic monologue is a poem written in the form of a speech of an individual character to an imaginary or implied audience. It compresses into a single vivid scene a narrative sense of the speaker's history and psychological insights into his or her character. Although it has been contested that the dramatic monologue is a technique and not a form, it has existed as a form long before Browning adopted and revolutionized it. The Old English poems The Wanderer and The Seafarer are dramatic monologues. In literary history, the dramatic monologue form parallels novelistic experiments with point of view, wherein the reader is left to assess the intelligence and the reliability of the narrator or speaker. The three chief characteristics of the dramatic monologue are a single person who is patently not the poet, utters the speech that makes the whole of the poem at a critical moment or in a given situation. This person speaks to and interacts with one or more people, but we know of the auditor's presence and what they say and do only through clues in the speech. The main principle controlling the poet's choice and formulation of what the lyric speaker says is to reveal to the reader the speaker's character or temperament. In most dramatic monologues, therefore, the actual subject discussed is far less interesting than what the speaker inadvertently reveals about himself or herself. Robert Browning's Andrea del Sarto is a beseeching speech of a formerly celebrated painter to his disinterested, adulterous wife. It is set in a small Italian town called Fiesole, where the character Del Sarto has built a house for himself and his wife using money given to him by the King of France for art and art supplies. In its 267 lines, the poem addresses such concerns of Del Sarto's as Lucrezia's loss of love for and pride in him, the attention other men pay her, which, he ruefully notes, is reciprocated, his failure to achieve fame and greatness, although he believes he exceeds his contemporaries in his technical skill, because of his nagging and uninspiring wife, his regret at having misused and therefore stolen the money the King of France had given him, peppered with images of golden autumn, grey twilight, walls, chambers, even Jerusalem. But do not let us quarrel any more. No, Meg Lucrezia, bear with me for once. Sit down, and all shall happen as you wish. You turn your face, but does it bring your heart? I'll work then for your friend's friend, never fear. Treat his own subject after his own way, fix his own time, accept too his own price, and shut the money into this small hand when next it takes mine. Will it, tenderly? Still, all I care for, if he spoke the truth? What he? Why who but Michael Agnolo? Do you forget already words like those? If really there was such a chance so lost, is whether you're not grateful but more pleased? Well, let me think so. And you smile indeed. This hour has been an hour. Another smile. If you would sit thus by me every night, I should work better, do you comprehend? I mean that I should earn more, give you more. Del Sarto was evidently unable to balance his role as husband and artist. It is suggested that Robert Browning was projecting his own insecurities as a poet onto Del Sarto. The parallel between Lucrezia and Elizabeth Browning is not simply incidental. Browning did not enjoy critical acclaim or even popularity until later in his life and career. Elizabeth Browning did. Although their marriage was based on mutual love and respect, Browning's insecurity may have manifested in perhaps the thought that he'd be better off without a wife as an artist. The metaphor of the twilight of Del Sarto's life and marriage is often extended to the twilight of Browning's life. A melancholy tone marks his resignation to his bleak fate as a has-been. Later in the poem he says, "Too live the life grew, golden and not grey, and I'm the weak-eyed bat no sun should tempt out of the grange whose four walls make his world. This causes us to question whether the artist can have a life in society. Is renunciation the solution? Can an artist exist within the constructs of society? Can a critique of a thing come from within it? So when Del Sarto calls himself a half-god, a trope not uncommon among artists who liken themselves to creators, is he attempting to distance himself from his circumstance, to detach himself from society and the perhaps limiting institution of marriage? The other philosophical question the poem, and thus the reader, engages in regards perfection. What artistic perfection is, whether it lies in the soul or the technique, whether perfection is a process or a product. It has been suggested that Browning used Renaissance painters as his subjects in order to address the didactic nature of Enlightenment-era art, and to contextualize it to Victorian struggles with morality, which was the intention of the dramatic monologue as executed by Browning. Browning's contribution to the form is that of complexity of dramatic situation and subtlety of characterization. Despite its roots as a technique in Greek drama and the tradition from ballads, the dramatic monologue, post-Browning and his legacy, that is Ezra Pound, Sylvia Plath, T.S. Eliot, Robert Hayden, has become a self-contained genre of poetry.